Can I go over stock in an option position?
That's called a hedge, by the way.
Yeah, well, I can't. So I'm going to start big here. And then I'm going to warn you again that if you go to my channel and you put in the search bar stock plus options or hedge or protected puts or covered calls, it'll come up. Now, you didn't tell us what exam you're taking. And so this discussion would not be, I think, important if you're taking SIV. If you're taking a 7, perhaps a 65, you might encounter a hedge. A hedge is a fence. It keeps good things in and bad things out. Right? That's what a hedge does. It's a fence. And so when you have a stock position, the one that gets tested most often is having a long stock position. I own the stock. But remember, we also have short stock positions. And there's 2 things I might want to do using an option. I'm always interested. Oh, looks like I just disappeared. Did I come back?
Yeah, you're back. Yep.
That's not bueno. Anyways, I'm either trying to protect the stock position or I'm trying to generate additional income. So, Brian, could you please put a stock price on the 100 shares of XYZ on your whiteboard? And I'm going to 50. So what I say is, hey, Brian, how would you like to agree to sell at 55 stock you just bought at 50? Somebody will give you several $100s, Brian, to agree to sell at 55 stock you just bought at 50. Right now, Brian, we could write or short or sell an XYZ 55 call at 3. And this is a very good way, test question, to generate additional income. And that's very much a test question. Why are we using this strategy? This is the most conservative option strategy available. And this is like level 1 approval at most firms. I say, Brian, we now have 3 sources of profit. One source of profit, Brian, is we now have 50 to 55. That's $500 we could make. We get to keep the 300. That's another source of profit. And if this company pays dividends, we get to keep that as well. So, Brian, this is a good way to supplement dividend income. We also get some price decline protection. We're going to lower our out-of-pocket cost from 50 to 47, right? Because we paid out 50 and we brought in 3. Right? So that we're going to net those 2 numbers. Now, there is a disadvantage to this strategy. The disadvantage to this strategy is we don't participate past the strike. Now, if this stock goes to 80, Brian, we got to give it up at 55. So there's a cap. Our gain is capped. If we didn't write the call, we have unlimited gain potential. So, but, if we get called away at 55, that's really the equivalent of 58. So anywhere between 47 and 58 winning recommendation. All right, so that's the most testable of the stock plus the options.
One last thing.
Yep.
This, with that, is the famous covered call.
Yeah, covered because if you agree to sell stock you don't have, that's called a naked uncovered call, and that's not bueno, right? If Brian just sells a 55 call at 3, that's like picking up nickels in front of bulldozers. I mean, I say, Brian, really? For $300, you're going to step out in the middle of a bulldozer? I mean, that's just stupid, right? So covered calls, a very conservative strategy. Naked calls, uncovered, where you're agreeing to sell stock you don't have, has unlimited risk. All right, so what's the next one? So, we talked about insurance. I say, hey, Brian, we might want to consider buying some insurance. As you know, Brian, when you buy insurance, you got to pay a premium. And so what I'd like to do is take some more money and buy some protection. I'd say, Brian, why don't we buy an XYZ 45 put at 2? Let's establish to sell the stock we bought at 50 at 45. And that's going to cost us 2 points for the protection. This is called a married put, protective put. It's protecting the stock position. Brian, how many times do people tell us, oh, the break-even's 43, strike price minus premium, max loss is $200, maximum gain is break-even to 0? Whenever you have stock and options, the stock position dominates. You cannot let an option tail wag a stock dog. So you got to stay focused on the stock. So when you're taking the test, the first thing you got to do is RTFQ, read the full question and say, this is a stock position. So no matter what option comes next, it's still a stock position. So this is a bullish transaction. It has unlimited gain potential. The maximum loss is when my protection kicks in. So if the stock goes to 35, I can sell it at 45. So the worst case is we're going to lose 7 points. So I think in this format as a live stream, I did a pretty good job of going over that. And so did Brian. Kudos on the whiteboard. Brian's sure helpful in this kind of a situation. But again, if you put that into the channel search bar, I have an entire option playlist. I have hours of videos on stock plus options, and you can watch me do it. You can watch students do it. So lots of content available.